Yeah, we leave out in the morning for Texas Relays, and it's going to be a long 4 days, but we have a lot of competition from around the country. That's where the national meet will be, so we're excited to get our men and women there and compete against the best.
So heading into this week, what did you like about what you saw over the weekend? What would you like to maybe carry over or fix in the Texas Relays?
Well, I love seeing our 4x1s get the stick around. It was the first time we had a chance to run. We will have a different team mixture a little bit, so that'll be anxious to see. But I'm real pleased with our hurdlers, most short hurdlers, female and male. Naomi, of course, had her first race, and then Taylor Rooney, who did not have an indoor, he won the 110s. And then really Sylvia in the 400 hurdles and Oscar in the men 400 hurdles. That's probably my highlight of last weekend. The hurdlers getting the long hurdlers going and the short hurdlers going outside, it's a big deal.
Is there a different feel when you go into the Texas Relay Week, knowing like what weight it kind of carries amongst just the whole outdoor season?
It does. It's more of a championship atmosphere. We're going to have a lot of new people there, some really great teams, tremendous competition. So it's the first little test of the year outdoors. Of course, we've got 3 or 4 guys and 3 or 4 girls that didn't compete or haven't competed yet. So that'll be their first opportunity.
We're about to talk to Warren in a minute, by the superintendent. How has he kind of, made his, or back up, when he's competing against Zach Bradford and maybe some of the other people in this conference, like how does that elevate his game knowing that he's, going to go up against the best every week?
Yeah, I think having this facility, they pretty much up to this point have had this opportunity to stay inside and to make sure you get training every day. Jumping one of the very best in the world in Zach Bradford, you can't help but step up your game. And so I think he's finally settling in and getting an opportunity to kind of feel good about himself and gain some confidence. We're going back to his old stomping ground, so hopefully he'll have a good meet.
And then we'll talk to Serena too. On the same note, coming in from a different school, how does she kind of fit in amongst the team so far this season?
Yeah, real pleased with her opener in the 100 meters this past week, and just relay leg that she's running. And I think these kids are getting acclimated and they're figuring out at this level what they have to do. And I think when she's got Rose and those people with her, and the guys have got the same thing. We've got 6 to 9 guys that can run on the 4x1 any weekend. So it just makes it a lot better when you have that kind of competition and that kind of what I call culture and kind of championship atmosphere around you.
How much training has Caleb got in on the 400 hurdles, and is he opening up in that this weekend?
Yeah, we've had about 10 days of work, and it'll be anxious to see how well he handles this first meet. It's real high pressure, but of course he's been to the national meet before and things like that. He had a really good workout yesterday, and so I'm just really excited to see him run, to see Courtney run, and to see Terrence run. That on the guys' side they didn't, and then of course Rose will get to open up in the 100 meters for her. It's going to be fun to see them go against some of the best.
What kind of times do you think you're likely to see in the 100 and the 200?
Yeah,
with considering the talent and the competition.
Yeah, it should be good. Normally we have really good weather there. I think we're expecting about 85. Those sprinters love that heat. If we can get real warm weather and have the right wind, then I think you're going to see some really fast times in the 100 meters. It's always fast at Texas Relays.
What do you expect Joe Keys to bring to your combined events?
Just thrilled to have Joe. He's only had an outdoor season, so he's been training for a long time, and he's gone to the national meet before. Gives us a presence again. We had a good presence indoors, and now we've got another good presence outdoors in a multi-event. And so I think it's important for our team just because we need depth there. And so I'm excited to see him because we really haven't had much opportunity to see him in action.
And you kind of alluded to it, talked about it a little bit before, but the events that you don't do indoors, that you do outdoors, you have impact people, at least certainly on a conference level with like Devin Roberson last week and Keys. Is there anybody else that you kind of see?
Well, the 400, hurdles is definitely a big event, and then the 4x1, and you don't have the DMR, and you don't have the 1,000, you don't have a bunch of those odd events indoors. And we are just a little bit, I think, a little bit more suited for outdoors right now. When you put those hurdlers together, and then you put a 4x1 and a discus thrower, and possibly a decathlete. It's just things we didn't, all those. We did have a decathlete, but we didn't have the other things. So I'm anxious to see those.
With the depth of your guys sprinters, is there competition for spots on the sprint relay? Do they see it that way, or are they happy to run the 100 and the 200, like say in Terrence's case?
I don't know any of them that don't want to be on it, and they'll all get to probably an opportunity to run on it at certain times, but we'll try to, I think Coach Robinson will try to pick who he feels are our best four for this weekend. And then you'll probably see that change. We go to Arizona next week, and we'll run a little bit different team. And then we go to Florida, he'll probably try to put back, after evaluating 3 weeks, he'll try to start maybe settling in a little bit more.
Who would you say are your best four right now?
I think we're going to run probably Jacoby and Terrence and Courtney, and I think our lead and then Debo. I think that's probably will be the group for this week. And then you probably
order would you put them in?
will probably lead. Well, Terrence has asked for this week to lead off, so we're going to let him. We thought a national champion that wants to lead off, we're going to let him do it. So he'll lead off, and then we'll go to Courtney. So we have two really good first two legs, and then Debo will be third leg, and then we'll anchor with Jacoby.
You were about to say next week.
Yeah, I mean, I think Nilo is really good to be on there. I think Adam Clayton can be on there. I think we could always put Caleb Dean on there. We're going to work him so much. He'll run the 110 hurdles also, maybe next week, and so he'll have that and the 4x4. So we've got 8 or 9 other guys, so we're trying to go with them first before we have to put him on it, and hopefully we won't ever have to.
Demisha running the hurdles this week?
Demisha's opening up in the hurdles, yeah. We've got Antoine will open up in the hurdles, so we're running most of our best people. Like I told you earlier, I think Keyshawn possibly will stay home. He's got a little sore hamstring. We're taking it best is healthy, but we're trying to make sure that his tendonitis is getting totally well before we open him up. And other than that, Anna Susanna won't compete. She's going to open up a little bit later. And Ruda is starting to practice back, so I feel like we'll open her up real soon. But those are 2 really good girls and 2 really good guys that are going to help us by the time we get going.
So Ruda's cleared now, and what about Sydney?
Sydney is not yet. We have not. We've got one more doctor's appointment to see where she stands.
Heading into this week, with it being the Texas Relays, like how do you feel like you're getting acclimated to the outdoor season, just making a quick turnaround?
I'm very excited. Lubbock been a little bit cold. We had on days like it's been hot, but off days like it's been cold. So like we practice inside. But being at Texas Relays, it's going to be hot and good weather. So it's like very exciting to be able to go out there and get good weather, so you can be warm and everything. Cause sprinters love good weather, so I can't wait to be there and have good weather in Texas.
Is that what you're most excited for heading into Texas Relays, or is there like more to it?
More just the atmosphere. Texas Relays is a high intense meet. Like other teams are going to be there. Like it's really like the 4x1, the people opening up in the 100. There's like pro athletes going to be there. So it's just really the whole meet is very exciting. Like it's Texas Relays. You really want to go to Texas Relays. Like high school people, like they want to go to Texas Relays. So it's just overall the whole meet is very exciting.
When you're competing, like when you look at the whole field, is it like more important for you to just go out there and set your own PR, or like you looking to beat any certain people or certain teams? Like what's that like?
No, it's just really focus on myself and what I have to do and execute my race and everything that I have going on. Just really focus on what you have to do and not really other teams, because of course there's going to be other teams everywhere, but just what you have to do. When you can execute what you have to do, and you're going to perform well. So yeah.
When did you get here? When did you transfer?
I transferred here last fall, yes.
What was it that made you decide to leave Clemson, and what was kind of your choices
Clemson just wasn't the environment for me after the 2 years that I've been there. I just realized like that wasn't what I wanted, and I knew I had more potential. So I just needed somewhere to go to like fulfill my potential, and I decided to come here because the relationship with Coach Rob I have, and plus my teammates and everything is just they can really push me to be where I want to be in life and where I want to be in this track world. So yeah.
Did you take any other recruiting visits?
I did. I took one to Auburn. I took one here. Yeah. Took other places. Yep.
And you're from Cincinnati?
I am from Cincinnati, Ohio. Yes, sir.
So you've gotten to see a lot of different parts of the country.
Yeah.
What's it been like in terms of just culture? Maybe outside track and field, what's it been like just to see different parts of the country?
It's been amazing actually just realizing like other states. Like I never knew Lubbock until I came to Texas Tech, so it's just like that's a first. But then like there's nothing here. It's really different compared to Clemson, so you have to adapt because like Clemson has more stuff to do than Lubbock, and like the weather's not always hot or not always cold, so like it's very you have to be very adaptable. So it's pretty cool though. I like it. I can say I've been there. You're good.
Did you meet up with your teammates when they came here for one-on-one?
I did. I talked to my old teammates and my coaches, and it was like a good experience. No bad blood. I still love them.
Did you know Andre Wright by chance?
Andre Wright. Yes. Scoop. We call him Scoop.
Really?
Yeah, we call
I
him
went to high
Scoop.
school with him.
Oh, that's
Yeah, I
nice.
grew up near Clemson.
Yeah.
It's kinda funny.
We call him Scoop. Yeah.
So being from Cincinnati, do you like Skyline chili?
I do, but I don't eat it a lot. But that is what Cincinnati, Ohio is known for. That's funny that you have that. Yeah.
Who is your favorite sprinter, like your sprint idol, like professionally? Or it could be collegiate. Do you watch much?
I do.
track on
I
TV?
do. I love track. I wouldn't if I, yeah. My favorite, I was Shelly Ann Fraser. Yeah. No, Shelly Ann Price. Yeah, Shelly Ann Fraser Price. Yeah. I love her. That's my favorite. Great one.
How's the competition been, even amongst like your own team, given how good the pole vaulters are at Texas Tech? How has that elevated your game heading into the outdoor season?
It has been a crazy turn of events being here. I didn't really have a training partner, training group at Texas. I was kind of, there's normally one or two of us at most times, but now with Zach and Logan, Colton, Kyle, Rory, I mean, they're all insane at what they specialize in the vault, and so it's been really impressive working with them and getting pushed by them every day. Like, I mean, this off season they killed me because they were just in so much better shape than I was. It was pretty fun.
And heading into Texas relays too, that has like a different sense of urgency maybe. Are you, is there like a different mindset heading into a meet like this?
Urgency in what way?
And like, this is a championship type atmosphere that I got to bring the game to it.
What's interesting about the Texas Relays for me is that has been a home meet for me for the last 4 years. It's been like my playground. I've actually been hanging out at the Texas Relays, like working with the officials since I was 8 years old. So really, Texas Relays has never felt like a championship type environment. It feels like home to me. And so that always makes you want to compete better. So that is why I look at Texas Relays as somewhere I want to compete well, but it's not because I think of it as like a more difficult competition. It's actually.
So does it like just make you feel more relaxed just knowing that you've been so familiar with it?
It is. That track has been my home since I was a kid, and so Texas Relays is like the place for me.
Can you elaborate? You said you've been hanging out there since you were 8 years old with the officials.
My dad volunteers as an official. He was actually an ex-UT athlete back in the day, and so all his buddies are officials now for Texas. And so since I was 8 years old, he's been taking me to those meets, and I've been watching the Texas Relays every single year. I've sat through all 3 days every year since I was 8 years old, and it was like a home. Those officials helped raise me for most of the year, and they're like my extra parents.
What's your dad's name?
Scotty Miller, sir.
He participated in.
He was a pole vaulter.
He's a pole vaulter also.
From 1988 to 1992 at UT.
I see. Given that background then, and obviously Texas men have a good team, and you had been third or fourth in the conference meet every year.
Pretty much.
What was it that made you decide to leave? And then, I guess on the back end of that, then what made you choose Tech?
Why did I leave? I really left. I just wanted to experience a different environment. I'd gotten so used to kind of how the day-to-day worked in Austin, and I wasn't growing in the way that I wanted to. I'd gotten too relaxed with not having pressure from anyone beside me trying to really compete with. And so that was also a big deal of why I chose Tech. I'd found out at the conference meet outdoor that Zach was going to come here, and I thought it was a really good opportunity to put myself in kind of the line of fire and really see if I could compete at that level. And so that was why I chose Tech. And also jumping here in this indoor facility doesn't hurt things.
Yeah. Which I guess Zach, of course, gives you all the competition you want, right?
Yes, sir. It's definitely been great.
How many times did you make it to state?
I went to state 3 times in high school. My sophomore year, I ended up 3rd. I came in ranked 8th and ended up PRing by 9 inches. My junior year, I ended up winning it with 16 feet, and then senior year, it was a rough year, but I got 2nd. So.
What classification were?
I believe at that time I was still in 3A, so I was a 2A freshman year. I mean sophomore year.
When you were going to the track when you were 8 years old, did you know then that you wanted to be a pole vaulter?
I loved the vault. That was the thing that I definitely enjoyed. I've been vaulting since I was 7. I mean, I was on a track really early. It was never something I was trying to be really good at. It was a game. I had a pit in my backyard. It was just something fun that I did every day. I would get home from school, I would uncover the pit, and I'd wait for my dad to get back from work. It was how it functioned for me. And so pole vaults has been a game for the last 16 years now. A game that I got good at.
Zach, you're not going to follow Zach's lead, though, and not do anything crazy over here. We've asked Coach Kinley and Coach Slagle that.
I learned my lesson. Sophomore year, I made a deal with Coach Flo at Texas that if I didn't get top 4 at conference, I would shave my head. And so I learned from that lesson that I didn't want to do anything with my hair again because he shaved my head at a team meeting, and he was not nice. He shaved it halfway and then left the other with hair on it. So the whole volleyball team took photos with me. It was great. It was one of the most demoralizing days of my life.
That was what, like freshman year or so?
It was sophomore year.
Sophomore.
Yes, sir. It was right before COVID hit. That was that indoor season. Yes, sir. It was fun, but those photos were not good.